And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
So Tyrus is back with us. You know him, of course, as a regular on Gutfeld, a Fox News contributor, and host of Maintaining with Tyrus on Outkick. Tyrus, good to have you back. Always love talking with you.
Always a pleasure.
I want to get your thoughts on President Trump's speech this Tuesday and how he delivered his message, and also how he, like you heard in that clip, clapped back a little bit at the Democrats who couldn't find anything positive about him once again.
No, and I even liked how he just turned his position and just spoke to the Republicans. It was a waste of time. And I think that is probably the most telling thing about the extreme left right now is that there is no reason to even waste your breath debating him and talking to him. And also that works in real life. Like people who just have propaganda in their head, that you cannot sway them. You cannot convince them. It's best just go about your day. Save yourself the energy. Trying to have an intelligent conversation or going over things that are good for this country. Listen, if a little boy who is kicking cancer's ass and his dream to be a police officer is made an honorary Secret Service agent, that doesn't get you to cheer. You are a deeply, deeply disturbed and angry person. And everyone who voted for someone like that needs to realize your child. That could be your parent who's in that way. And when it comes down to it, their agenda and their narrative is more important than people, because that was a no-brainer. Sitting and clapping wasn't better. The signs were laughable. What are you for? I mean, it's just they're playing I'm not athletic enough to play tennis. What's the little game with the paddles?
Pickleball.
Pickleball, yeah. They rated the pickleball box, and which probably cost taxpayers $2 million for those paddles. I'm sure Doge will let us know that in the next week or two. It's a really tough time for the establishment, and we're also going to see. And he laid out. Now you have to sometimes listen to what Trump is not saying when he is saying things. He is laying the tracks to the money laundering and the fleecing of the American taxpayer that's been going on for generations. And we're going to see a lot of the career politicians lose their mind, fight back, try to find extreme things, protest everything, go after Elon Musk. And what is it they're going him after for finding overspending, which they should all be in for because it helps their constituents. But I think the problem is that when you have millionaires, 100 millionaires, and jobs that pay less than $200,000 a year after tax, before taxes, that explains a lot of the aggressive pushback and the fake claims and the outrageous comments calling him Hitler. He's destroying America. He's a threat to America. No, he's a threat to you. Mm-hmm. You started this fight, and it didn't work. And I think he said it best. How'd that work out for you? Yeah. And the more we're seeing, and it's on the Republican side too. We got millionaires that shouldn't be millionaires on the Republican side too. It's just that they seem to be taking, or at least at this particular point. Now, I said I think the ones who hands are dirty will start to get nervous as the numbers come out. I think and again, I don't know if this is fact, but I feel like it is. I just feel like the ones who are most outspoken, Pocahontas, Bernie Sanders, I think there's a reason for that. I think Pelosi's uncomfortable look on her face, sitting there looking like Jinx in the documentary, like they're on to me. So I think that's the bigger play here. And I think when the names come out, and it's more important than the Epstein list, and it's more important than those things because this has been a criminal enterprise that has been generational. There is no reason that any lifetime senator or congressman should be a multi-millionaire. I'm talking like the lowest end is 12 million, and I think that is all of that is our taxpayer dollars. And I would like to see that return to the American taxpayer. And so hopefully we're going to get to and that's where it's coming.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is the game in town. That's what we need to play focus on. And they're going to play all the cards, but it doesn't work anymore. Calling him a racist, that's a little hard to do. And I hate to even mention the fact that beautiful young man who's living his dream and his proud father were black.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a necessary detail. Yeah,
it shouldn't even have to mention it, but because they can't call him racist, because what they would have done had that boy been white, they would have said he couldn't have found a person of color in need. They would have done something. So now they're reduced to tariffs. All of a sudden, they're trying to convince that tariffs show up at your house, eat your food, raise your children under their moral values. They're trying to make tariffs into this monster. And I'm in California today, and I got 2 shows today. And I was at the airport, and a reporter ran up to me and asked me, what are my thoughts on the fear of the households about tariffs? And I said, how many times have you come home and seen a tariff sitting on your porch waiting for you? I said, go outside and play.
Yeah.
Like this is part of they tariff us. All he's saying is you tariff us $20, we're going to tariff you the same 20-pack. Seems pretty fair to me. And if they say, oh, no, we won't do that, we'll lower our tariffs, then it's called a negotiation. So maybe just let the adults in the room handle it, or educate yourself on how this thing works, or see how one-sided it has been. Don't just listen to MSNBC, who will lie and say anything at this point to try to create issues that are not there. They've run out of. So I think it's just going to be interesting to how desperate they get.
I'm curious, this is our poll question for our audience today. If the Democratic Party can recover in time to make gains in the midterm election, traditionally the minority party does do better in a midterm election. Do you think that the Democrats can get their act together in time?
I think anyone who is running against a Democrat who was sitting in that building that night does not run photos of them refusing to stand at survivors' families of people who've been lost, the little boy, and say this is the person that you want to represent you. I think they've, the fact that they will still say that men in women's sports is a good thing. Those things, those narratives and propagandist garbage talking points, they will stick to them, and it should be a pretty easy campaign. I think America is awake more than it has ever been. I think now we're starting to realize that you just don't vote because somebody's pretty or somebody's the first of, or somebody used to be a celebrity. You have to look at the content of the character and their body of work. And so hopefully you'll start to see that. Now, that means that you get a real Democrat who's willing to work, because everything that President Trump is not doing extreme right things. He's doing middle of the road things. A good portion of his cabinet are Democratic roots. So it's not like he's not open to work to the other side. He literally will listen to a ex-wrestler smartass on Fox TV talking about, hey, what if we treated the cartel like terrorists? Wouldn't it be easier for the military? I mean, tax write-off for no taxes for veterans and police officers. And look what he's doing with taxes. So, I mean, this man will work with anyone. So instead of trying to load your pockets with donor money, because that's what it really is, the more extreme they sound, the more money they get. Do your job. Serve the people. Yeah. That's what the point of this was. But they're only serving themselves because, again, any senator that's on TV more than 2 or 3 times a week, that means they're not doing their job. Yeah. You want to be a pundit, get a job. There's like 1 million open in MSNBC. So,
yeah.
Your job.
You're spot on. Of course, you're spot on. Tyrus, we love to hear you're still touring. Look forward to when you get yourself back to the St. Louis area. Of course, we'd love to have you. and love seeing you on
Oh yeah,
Gutfeld.
because hey, Pappy's, I am missing you.
Pappy's is always happy to have you. They're always thinking about the next time to get to visit with Tyrus. So come back soon and enjoy California. It's beautiful there. Hopefully they can get things. Maybe you can fix California while you stop by. 2 shows, you should be able to do that.
Hey, you know what? Real funny. So the other night, I got like 3 weeks ago. Time flies when you work. I get a text at 2:00 in the morning from the president who says, "Hey, bro, I just filled California up with water. Governor's pissed," and sent pictures. LOL post. Who doesn't love this president?
I just filled California up with water? That's hilarious.
Governor's pissed. LOL. Here's pictures. Post them. That's our president.
That's our president. And you know what? I always think of you before the election. You were out there saying, this isn't even close. And nobody else was really
listening to country music, drinking a beer
That's
with
true.
my hand in my fish pond.
I saw that video.
I wasn't even watching TV. There's no point. It's over. And because the American people have been completely awake and caught up in the feelings and stuff. And unfortunately, I think we all went through it. But to be honest with you, I think it was good for the president too. He's much more decisive. He's less combative. He's working with people that probably 6 years ago he would not even think about working with, which is better for the country. So I think all around America, we went through a tough period, but I think we have perspective now. And I think everyone is feeling the excitement about getting back to being American, going back outside, enjoying your family. If faith is your thing, being able to support your faith, doing your job, getting an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, not having to worry about somebody working under the table and all these other things. And our borders are safe, because safe borders lead to so much any other things. And it's a good feeling right now.
Well, we are always excited to have you on the show, and we hope you kill it in California. Thanks for being with us and fitting us in. We always appreciate you.
Thank you. You guys have a great week. Go Red Sox.
Oh, come on now. He snuck that in.